Let's take up cleavage of bond. In cleavage of bond, first we are taking homolytic cleavage. One of the electrons of the shared pair in a covalent bond goes to each of the covalently bonded atoms. Thus, the homolytic cleavage, the movement of a single electron takes place instead of an electron pair. The single electron movement is shown by half-headed fish hook. This is the way how we show it. This is curved arrow. Such cleavage results in the formation of neutral species, atoms or groups which contain an unpaired electron in excited state. So these species are called free radicals, which are highly unstable and highly reactive in the same form as carbocations and carbanion ions. Let's take up homolytic cleavage. How we show homolytic cleavage? This compound is Rx, and here we are supplying heat or light. So bond breaks in such a manner that one electron goes to X, another electron goes to R. So we get alkyl free radical and halide free radical. So the result of homolytic fission is the formation of free radical where each of the group or atom takes one electron, which is in excited state because these are formed by absorption of heat or light, and that is the reason that free radicals are highly reactive. Next, we are taking stability of free radicals. Alkyl radicals are classified as primary, secondary, or tertiary, and alkyl radical stability increases as we proceed from primary to tertiary. Methyl free radical is least stable because there is no electron releasing group which can reduce electron deficiency of this carbon. Ethyl radical is more stable because methyl group is electron releasing which can reduce electron deficiency of this carbon. Isopropyl free radical has two methyl group which can reduce electron deficiency of this carbon. And in tertiary butyl radical, it's more stable because there are three methyl groups which can reduce electron deficiency of this carbon. Means we'll be able to stabilize this carbon. So tertiary butyl free radical is more stable, methyl free radical is least stable. Organic reactions which proceed by homolytic fission are called free radical or homopolar or non-polar reactions. Using curved arrowhead notation, show the formation of reactive intermediates when the following covalent bonds undergo heterolytic cleavage. Heterolytic cleavage takes place when there is difference in electronegativity. For example, here the curve arrowhead we have shown towards more electronegative atoms. Sulfur is more electronegative than carbon. Therefore, we have shown curved arrowhead like this. It means that both the shared pair of electron will shift to sulfur and this will form negatively charged ion. Methyl group will have positively charged ion because carbon is less electronegative. In CH3CN also, this shared pair of electron will go to cyanide ion and it will become negatively charged ion. This CH3 will acquire positive charge. Here, copper is electropositive and CH3 is electronegative. So CH3 will take the shared pair of electron forming carbanion ion or CH3 negative ion, and cuprous ion will be formed. Copper will acquire one positive charge. That is the way how heterolytic cleavage takes place. Heterolytic cleavage will take place in polar compounds and negative charge will be acquired by more electronegative element containing group, whereas less electronegative element containing group will become positively charged. So heterolytic cleavage leads to the formation of ions. Next, we are taking identify the electrophilic center in the following compounds. Now, this is also possible in polar compounds. This is CH3CHO acetaldehyde or IUPAC name is ethanol. These pi electrons will shift towards oxygen because oxygen is more electronegative. This start carbon will become positively charged. So this center will have love for electrons. Therefore, this is called electrophilic center. In CH3CN also, this pi electrons will shift to nitrogen. So nitrogen will become slightly negatively charged. The starred carbon will become positively charged, will attract electrons. That's why this is electrophilic center. This CH3 is attached to iodine. Iodine is more electronegative than carbon, so it will take minus charge, and here it will create positive charge. So this positively charged center will attract electrons, therefore it's called electrophilic center. And they are due to polarity of this bond. Next, we are taking electron movement in organic compounds. The movement of electrons in organic reactions can be shown by curved arrowhead notation. It shows how changes in bonding occur due to electronic redistribution during the reaction. First, we are taking, here we have double bond, here we have single bond, and this is the atom Y. So the pi electrons from this double bond shift to this place, so then this single bond will change to double bond, whereas this double bond will change to single bond. So here from pi bond to adjacent position, shifting is taking place, or pi electrons are shifting to this place so as to form new pi bond, and this pi bond will change to sigma bond. Here also this pi electrons are being donated to Y. So this will be present on Y in the form of lone pair. So here pi bond is breaking and lone pair of electron is there on Y. This remains single bond, this becomes single bond. So here from pi bond to adjacent atoms, pi electrons are being donated, are moving. Here we have lone pair. Lone pair is there with the Y, so this lone pair will take part in double bond formation. So it will result in formation of this remains single bond. Here double bond is formed. So here from adjacent atom, the electrons are forming double bond. Here we have OH ions and this is CH3Br. Now arrowhead is towards Br because bromine is more electronegative, which will acquire negative charge. So this CH3 will acquire positive charge, will be attracted by OH ion, which results in the formation of CH3OH plus bromide ion is becoming free. Here we have CH3Cl. So Cl being more electronegative will form Cl radical, and here CH3 radical. So this is homolytic fission taking place, which normally takes place in the presence of sunlight or heating. Electron displacement effects in covalent bonds. The electron displacement in organic compound molecules may take place either in the ground state, under the influence of an atom or a substituent group, or in the presence of appropriate attacking reagent. The electron displacements due to influence of the atom or substituent groups present in the molecule caused permanent polarization of the bond. That is, with the help of electron displacement, polarization or permanent polarization of the bond can be carried out in organic compounds. Let's explain with the help of example. Inductive effect and resonance effect are example of this type of electron displacement. Now, temporary electron displacement effects are seen in the molecule when the reagent approaches to attack it. This type of electron displacement is called electromagnetic effect or polarizability effect. But this is temporary effect and it takes place only in the presence of attacking reagent. First, we are taking inductive effect in detail. When a covalent bond is formed between atoms of different electronegativity, the electron density is more towards the more electronegative atom of the bond. Such a shift of electron density results in polar covalent bond. Bond polarity leads to the various electronic effects in the organic compound. We can understand inductive effect with the help of simple example. If you ask question from the teacher and teacher appreciates you, you will have other children will also have inductive effect. That is, they will also start asking questions. And if the teacher scolds you after asking questions, you will not be able to ask more questions. This is the simple meaning of inductive effect. In the same way, a covalent bond which is formed between atoms of different electronegativity, so the electron density will be more on the more electronegative atom, which will become negatively charged or acquire slightly negative charge, and other atoms will get polarized, carbon atoms will get polarized and will have small amount of positive charge. But this amount of positive charge will keep on decreasing as the distance from the electronegative atom increases, and this is called inductive effect. Let's consider chloroethane, in which CCl bond is a polar covalent bond. It is polarized in such a way that the first carbon gains some positive charge. Why it gains positive charge? Because pair of electrons are towards chlorine. Because chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. So chlorine acquires some negative charge. Resultant carbon will acquire slight positive charge. The fractional electronic charges on the two atoms in a polar covalent bonds are denoted by the symbol delta, and the shift of electron density is shown by arrowhead that points from delta positive to delta negative end of the polar bonds. Let's see here. The chlorine, being more electronegative, acquires small negative charge denoted by delta negative. This carbon, which is directly attached to the chlorine, acquires small positive charge. The second carbon, which is away from this chlorine atom, acquires even smaller positive charge denoted by double delta. And if we had third carbon, which will acquire triple delta positive, means even smaller. And fourth carbon will have even smaller. After fourth carbon, this effect does not exist. In turn, carbon 1, which has developed partial positive charge, draws some electron density towards it from the adjacent carbon-carbon bond. That is this carbon-carbon bond. Consequently, some positive charge, that is double delta positive, develops on the carbon 2 also, where double delta positive represents relatively smaller positive charge as compared to carbon 1. Because carbon 1 was close to the electronegative atom, this is little away from the electronegative chlorine atom. In other words, the polar CCl bond induces polarity in the adjacent bonds. Such polarization of sigma bond caused by polarization of adjacent sigma bond is referred to as inductive effect. Halogens and many other such groups like nitro, cyano, carboxy, ester, aryloxy, that is phenoxy, etc. are electron withdrawing groups. They show minus I effect. On the other hand, the alkyl groups like methyl, ethyl, OH, NH2, NHCOCH3, OCH3, all of them are electron releasing or electron donating, and they cause plus I effect or positive inductive effect. Let's take up this example. We have pair of compounds in each set, and we have to identify that out of these two pairs, three A, B, C, which of the compound in the pair has more polar bond. In the first case, CBr bond is more polar. Why? Because bromine is more electronegative than hydrogen. That is why CBr bond is more polar. Here, CO bond is more polar because oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. Why oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen? Because oxygen is smaller in size than nitrogen. Here we have got carbon oxygen and carbon sulfur bond. Carbon oxygen bond is more polar because oxygen is more electronegative than sulfur. Because oxygen is smaller than sulfur. That is the reason that oxygen is more electronegative than sulfur. So carbon oxygen bond will be more polar than carbon sulfur bond. Next question, in which of the carbon-carbon bond of the CH3, CH2, CH2Br, the inductive effect is expected to be least? Magnitude of inductive effect decreases with the number of intervening bonds increases. Hence, the effect is least in the bond between carbon 3 and hydrogen. This is the carbon 3. Here, inductive effect will be minimum. Maximum will be with the first carbon, which is directly attached to the bromine. And this will be intermediate because it is slightly away from Br, but this is far away or at the third carbon, so here inductive effect will be minimum.